what may I attribute the honor of your call?
The night before last, a young girl and her mother were found murdered. The daughter's body was lodged in a chimney. The mother's head severed with a straight razor.
You're referring to one of my stories, a work of fiction.
I wanted to begin by asking you, this film, playing Edgar Allan Poe, did you feel any pressure taking on the role to sort of live up to the legacy, to do right by Mr. Poe?
Yeah, I think I did. We were real thorough in saying this is a good conceit for how to tell his story and to get into his stories. It felt like it was a part of his genre, mashup, his language. And then we were very vigilant about making sure that the vocabulary and the idiom and the dialogue, matched or reflected what he's actually said and his own opinions. So I think people who like Poe probably like it.
What was sort of your interpretation of the character in the script? I mean, he's a little bitter, a little angry, egotistical. How did you sort of see him? He's
a complete paradox in many ways. He was absolutely. Well, I think like a lot of addicts, he's very emotional and hyper-intuitive and raw and fucked up, and he was kind of a glorious mess.
Yeah, well, that must be fun to get to play.
Well, yeah, I mean, dramatically, it's playing characters' flaws are what make for good drama.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
The film is very sort of meta in the sense that. This is almost the kind of story that Poe would write about, and then we're seeing him in a sort of a detective noir, film noir story. What do you think he would think of this film and that being in that type of story?
I would hope he would think he would appreciate it as a clever mashup on his own genres that he created, because he was actually even writing kind of sci-fi hoaxes, and his whole kind of quest for saying all we see is but a dream within a dream. We were doing a story about Poe where he had to deconstruct his own life. He was doing that all the time with his writing.
Well,
but who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Well, finally, I just want to ask you, James McTeague is such a great director, and I think he's got a really great sense of action and suspense and brings that to this film. Can you talk a little bit about working with him and his vision for the movie?
He had a vision for it really ready to go, and he was a great partner, and he made the aesthetics, which are not easy to do. He made that very simple. I mean, he made it appear very simple, but you can only do that if you're a really, really sure hand. So then you can have all that stuff there and have it all planned out, and then just focus on the performance. And to do that is to direct on a very high level, because there's people who can work with actors, but they can't handle the framing and the aesthetics and the colors and the camera movement and the editorial. So he's playing on a very high level on all the aspects of being a director, and he's not afraid of big ideas or radical ideas. I mean, if you look at like V for Vendetta, that's the most radical film a studio has ever put out. Just when you think about the ideas of it, it's really out there. And so he's got a good capacity to think and to put serious ideas into pop movies, and he's a very cool director.